Hi guys, how you doing?
Hey, Darren.
Hey.
Darian Robbins, artofdarian.blogspot.com. My question is for you, Gavin. You filmed at the NASA Michoud facility in Louisiana and had the students go to space camp. So I'm wondering, how do those real-world science and technology experiences affect the film's look and the tone in regards to the battle room and some of the technology that we're going to see in the film?
Oh, that's a great question. It was hugely helpful. I mean, you start off and, I've never been in space. The kids have never been in space. How do you move? How do you behave? What are the dynamics? So thank you to my producers and for putting up the money for us to have those experiences, because the most important thing for any actor is to get the technical stuff out of the way, so that when you're on the set, you can focus on what is most important in that moment, which is the emotional truth of the scene that you're in. So the fact that the actors and I were able to spend time learning about space and movement in zero-G, and I mean, the kids did amazing things. They went into water tanks where you get that sort of sense of balance as divers, and you try and perform all sorts of complicated tasks underwater, and then they got into these zero-G machines which bounced them around and float. They got really fast, and they did all this. And I think Asa should be answering this. I mean, at first it's really quite shocking. How should I move? But I think, Asa, that by the time we all got on set, it was still pretty tricky for you in those wires, and I'm sure you haven't forgiven me for the number of hours you spent in them. but the fact that there was that amount of rehearsal, there was that amount of research, meant that we weren't saying, how does this work in reality? We said, this is what we got to do technically. Now push that aside. Focus on the emotional truth of this scene. I mean, Asa, do you want to shoot me down for all that, or how do you feel about this?
Oh, that's pretty spot on, actually.
That's my man.
Yeah.
Asa, do you want to, I'm just piggybacking off of that, do you want to talk a little bit about how you prepped for the physicality of the role and how physical it was for you?
Yeah, it was really tough. Not just me, but all of the other kids on the film. During rehearsals, we had a lot of time, both in space camp and just whenever we weren't on set, practicing, doing boot camp, learning how to march, and getting the feeling of what it would have been like to be in a military academy. And not only did that help you physically, but it gave you an idea mentally of how it should be feeling, and I think that really comes across in the film. And as Gavin said, working in the wires isn't easy, and harnesses aren't comfortable, so it was tough. But we had a good
because
time.
I'm so lazy, can you just tell me how was room service at Space Camp?
Say that again?
How was room service at Space Camp?
It wasn't really room service. It was like
the truth is, what they did was they put everybody into a real military feeling. We had military instructors as well as technical instructors. And you remember, Asa? And then there was, you don't get to watch TV, you don't get to do anything, and you get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was the real deal.
Did it really help with the bonding of all the different kids that were there? Like, did you guys feel like you got to know each other?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was a real icebreaker for all the guys, and by the end of it, we were like best friends. It was great.
So it was worth it?
It's worth it.